Hey guys, so I'll be talking about a multi-Melta Inferno pistol build for Space Marine 2 patch 10.2 on the heavy class. Now the multi-Melta this patch has a pretty interesting mechanic or exploit depending on who you ask, where you can basically fire it off twice. The zoom function for your shots is actually on a separate cooldown for your fire rate from your hip fire. So basically you hip fire your Melta gun and then immediately zoom in, you can fire off another shot instantaneously for double damage. They do lack a little bit of the bonus damage from like the heavy might perks, but still pretty good for DPS output and stagger, which is why the multi-Melta is pretty epic at the moment. And it's kind of weird that Saber Interactive nerfed this ability for PvP, but it left it in PvE, so it might be here to stay, so we'll see about that. But for the variant I've chosen here today, I do take the magazine capacity version, because otherwise I do find this gun runs out of ammo all the time, and this one simply eliminates that worry entirely, even without kills like without perks like multi-kill, so I do like this version quite a bit. Now for the perk tree, I pick up increased capacity first, moving here into the perk Elite Restoration. Killing a Majora's level or higher enemy restores 10% of your maximum ammo reserve. Galaxy maximum ammo capacity cooldown is 30 seconds. Now another reason the magazine capacity version is so good on heavy is that like 99% of ammo restore perks in this game are percentage based. If you have a higher base capacity, obviously you're getting more value off of each proc, so pretty good for that. Next perk here is heavy fire for even more fire rate in your heavy stance. Then I pick up the perpetual range perk for 1 more meter of range, which does help occasionally. And then we grab the most important perk here, heavy immunity. While in heavy stance you do not lose control from heavy hits. This perk simply saves your life on pretty much every heavy stance weapon in the entire game, so pretty much always grab this. Next perk here is Executioner's Fire. After a finisher, fire rate increases by 25% for 5 seconds. This is very noticeable and an amazing enabler for your fire rate on any variant of this gun. This version of the rate of fire fires like an AA-12 if you have this perk active, so super strong there as well. Next perk here is Heavy Might, 15% more damage in heavy stance, pretty self-explanatory. And you pick up the other perk, which is exactly the same here with Heavy Might once again, for a total of 30% more damage in your heavy stance. Now, a perk I do snag down here is Trick Shot. Killing 5 enemies with 1 shot restores an armor segment. Cooldown is 30 seconds. Having an armor restore attached to your weapon perk tree is pretty amazing in Space Marine 2. An incredible effect, not quite as good as, say, the perk over here, Flame of Ascension, which is burning 5 enemies restores an armor segment, but still very strong. And the final 2 perks I grab here are Death Strike and Increased Capacity. This one so I can get better ammo procs off of things like Elite Restoration and our Auxiliary Reload Prestige perk, and Death Strike's just a nice damage enabler. Though I will say, if you want to skip over Perpetual Range and pick up the perk over here, Discipline, when you have low ammo, you deal 25% more damage. This is very strong and does come into play quite a bit. It can occasionally be better, so if you want to do that, you can definitely swap these out. That is up to you though, or if you want to go for like full damage, you could just outright skip Trick Shot and this perk entirely. Just go for these 2 right here for a 10% damage buff flat on top of the Discipline perk, because those are definitely good options. That is up to you once again, and that's pretty much all there is for the multi-Melta perk tree. Now for the secondary weapon selection here, I do take a Rate of Fire Inferno pistol for the maximum burn build, though I will say the Plasma pistol Rate of Fire variant and the Heavy Bolt pistol are both better options overall. The Inferno pistol is a pretty good gun. It has pretty amazing CHP recovery on the Rate of Fire variant. The ammo economy is pretty strong with perks like Adamant Restoration on top of the increased capacity here, and having Trick Shot attached to a secondary weapon is pretty amazing as well. My only problem with this gun is that the gun strikes are absolutely trash, and the AoE gun strike is pretty nice, but having no damage is just pretty mediocre. That's like the only thing holding this weapon back, but still pretty fun. It fits the theme of the build, and for this build in particular, I would just build down the bottom tree because you really don't need perks like Motivated Melee at all in a heavy, and having this extra range can definitely help out, especially if you decide to take the ammo reserve option. That is up to you, and once again, if you want to have like the best build ever, I would take the Plasma pistol Rate of Fire variant and build it this way, or take the Heavy Bolt pistol and build it this way, so that's up to you as well. And that's all there is for the secondary weapon selection. Now for the perk tree here, it is pretty standard. I do take Restoration first. Killing 7 enemies in rapid succession restores 1 armor segment. Cooldown is 15 seconds. Now I think this perk is far better than multi-kill. Our multi-Melta is quite ammo efficient even without this perk, so I just take this one instead. Because having a drip-fed armor restore with the perk down here, Conviction, which is on armor break, you get a 25% health damage reduction for 10 seconds, is very valuable to us. Great perk for sure. And then I move over here into the perk Fortitude. Health increases by 30%. This perk combined with Conviction makes you as tanky as like a baseline Bulwark with Conviction. Very strong perk combo, and I think this is far better than the perk down here, Strategic Stand, or the perk up here, Thermal Boost. And the next perk I take is Overwhelming Power. When Iron Halo is active, all of your squad members within 10 meters deal 10% more range damage. This is just a free range damage boost, so I will say if you want to take versatility instead, you definitely can. These are both pretty good options, and far better than the perk up here, Enhanced Force. Now, for the team perk selection, I do take Encompassing Aegis. All squad members take 25% less damage from range attacks. This perk is incredible, even though the effect is kind of boring. Getting a 25% range damage reduction for your entire team can grant damage reduction to classes that have basically none, like Tactical, so really, really useful for like any team comp, and far better than things like Additional Supplies or Bonds of Brotherhood. Next perk here is Consecutive Execution. Killing 7 enemies in a rapid succession restores equipment charge. Cooldown is 90 seconds. Having a 90-second Melta Bomb, Crack Grenade, Shock Grenade, or Frag Grenade can save your life, and anything in this game that breaks the pickup economy is super valuable, so top tier perk for sure. But I will say the perk up here, Adamant Will, for a 20% health damage reduction for 10 seconds on the Iron Halo deactivation is also very good, but that's really up to you. Really, I would take this perk if you don't have like a secure stockpile on your team from Tactical, but if you want to take Adamant Will over this, you definitely can, because it's still a very strong perk. Next perk here is Field Adjustment. Iron Halo recharges 20% faster, but its durability is reduced by 25%. Having a lower durability on your Iron Halo does suck sometimes, but in most cases with Iron Halo, you're just putting it up to like block 1 or 2 shots, and getting it back faster is just way more valuable to me, so I like this one a lot. But I will say things like Obdurate Bastion are still pretty strong, and I think this one is probably the weakest down here in Power Regulator. Next perk here is Brute Force. When Iron Halo is in cooldown, range damage increases by 15%. This is just a free 24/7 range damage buff pretty much, so I pretty much always grab this, and the perk up here sucks, and this one sucks as well, because expending all of your energy is like just horrendous for one AoE. It does a pretty decent damage, but often you aren't even going to be expending all of your charge on your Iron Halo anyways. It doesn't matter at all, so I would just take this one instead. And for the Scissor perk here, I do take Offensive Capability. When active, Iron Halo deals damage over time to all enemies within 5 meters. This perk is amazing. Dealing free damage for just having your Iron Halo up helps so much in melee, though I will say if you don't want to take this, you could take Conversion Field, because this is very noticeable if you have teammates that have like very long cooldowns like Auspex or Banner. That's really up to you as well. Both these perks are pretty good, and Coolant Reserve needs like an actual rework, so I would never take this. Now for the Prestige perks here, I'd either pick up Reverberating Impact first or Duelist. Now Reverberating Impact, it does help a lot with like handling Minoras, Spore Mines, and Bramble, but Duelist can occasionally save you from like really weird staggered hits from Raveners and stuff like that. Though this perk is not as good as it may seem, because the balanced parry window that Heavy is locked to has a negative frame startup, which means like the first 10 frames of your perfect parry or like your parry attempt on the Heavy will not actually allow you to perfect parry at all, and then after that startup period you'll actually be able to perfect parry, and this one only affects the actual perfect parry window, not the startup, so it's not as good, but like occasionally a Ravener or a Lictor will stagger in a way this will like catch them with a perfect parry, so it's good for that, but only that pretty much. Next perk I would take here is Auxiliary Reload. Melee kills with Trembles level or higher enemies restore your primary weapon's ammo by 1 magazine. This simply enables the ammo economy on your class for pretty much every single gun on Heavy. Pretty mandatory in my opinion. Ammo restoration in Space Marine 2 is very strong, and this class is quite ammo hungry because you are a heavy gunner after all, but I pretty much always take this. Next perk here is Conviction. When your armor is fully depleted, you take 25% less health damage for 10 seconds. This perk will simply save your life because it's pretty top tier wherever you can find it, so I pretty much always grab it. And the final perk I grab is Indomitable Spirit. While performing a gun strike, you do not lose control upon taking heavy hits, and you cannot be knocked back. This perk will also simply save your life because no knockback in Space Marine 2 is almost mandatory at times. The stun lock in this game is horrendous, and this will simply save you from Sword Warriors and Lictor light attacks and stuff like that. And there are times where you simply have to gun strike a guy to get your CHP back or pick up a kill. This will simply guarantee that, so I pretty much always grab this one, and these are my preferred setups on this build. That's pretty much all I have to say about this multi-Melta build. This gun has been top tier since Space Marine 2 came out, and is no different in patch 10.2. Heavy Plasma, Pyro Cannon are also great options, and even the Heavy Bolter. The only gun that really sucks on this class is the Heavy Bolt Rifle, but hey, that's just how it is. This one was thrown on for like a codex reason. But multi-Melta, pretty easy to run, can definitely carry you through some hard stratagems and some hard content in this game, and it's a very fun build for a lot of players, and hopefully this build guide helped. And if you like content like this, subscribe for more, and as always, thanks for watching.
Iron Halo ready. Your plants are forming up fresh reserves. Our counterattack was successful.
Oh, that was close.
Additional enemies incoming. Enhanced tactic ready. Obtaining armaments. Deploying frag grenade. Xenos Psyker unit wiped down. Iron Halo online. Specialized bioform neutralized. Obtaining armaments. Xenos displaying evasive behavior. Explosive payload insufficient. Source additional war gear.
Actually scared, dude. They're like, what the fuck? Just run away. He'll be back.
Predatory class Tyrant eliminated.
Salamander build, yep.
Support mined. Ambush prepared, Captain. The Hive Tyrant will reach your position shortly. Join the Imperial Guard defenses up on the bridge and lure that Xenos Colossus into the kill zone.
So you can call more. Give me more to kill.
High priority Tyrant eliminated. Conversion field operational. Throwing frag grenade. Kill confirmed. Major Tyranny threat. Reloading.
Tide's ever had a True Soul Absolute Op? I don't actually know. I know I've gotten over 90,000 though. I don't know if I ever hit 100k.
Equipping fresh magazine. Enhanced tactic ready.
At least not without like an increased spawns thing. I don't really value like the damage numbers too much in this game, to be honest, just because.
Deploying crack grenade. Refilling magazines.
Got him.
Iron Halo online. Target is in visual range. I've never seen such an atrocity. Hold.
So their guards have been dead. I've asked for guards have dead, don't they? Do indeed. They do indeed.
Detonate the charges.
I just find it funny that like these guys were about to get walked on by a Hive Tyrant before we showed up. Like a Hive Tyrant was coming up, and then three Ultramarines in the story show up and are like, "Oh, we planted bombs. Don't worry."
Confirmed hit.
I might take that Melta bomb back there, to be honest.
Xenos leader beast neutralized.
I don't really care.
Zone for a class tyranny. Use caution. Specialized bio. Utilize call for enemy backup. The enemy has successfully requested aid.
That's ammo.
So it use alien bioform to zero. Placing Melta bomb. Ready. Shield confirmed. Major tyranny threat. Whipping fresh magazine.
You didn't run with your last. I'll do more. I'll be doing more. I actually need a very particular run, as a matter of fact.
Reloading. Xeno's countermeasures. Success.
He asked me, chat. Yeah, sure, I did ask if you need to run. You know, Indy, they were calling you the skeleton on the Black Templar coat backpack. Hang on.
Iron Halo, one line. Rounds expected.
Or action to wind up at the door like completely out of ammo. It's pretty funny. The backpack. It's really slanderous. Ask what he did to Mr. Eva for. Nah, this is where our build is not incredible, because we don't really have like the best DPS ever versus this guy. Look how pathetic that damage is. This is where the pyre cannon is significantly better.
Obtaining arms. Iron field, one line. Version field, operation. We are. Heavy bioactivity from the target. Power surge from the target. Reloading ammunition.
I guess we'll wrap this. Let's try, buddy. Look at that.
Refilling magazines.
This was Street Fighter. If you just, what is it, Guile with some sonic booms.
Ready.
Ow.
Iron Halo tactics.
Ow.
Iron Halo ready. Iron Halo protocol in progress.
Okay, now we're just goofing. It was going so well. Not that we've taken damage yet, but my armor. Alright, what's this sending at me?
Reloading. Iron Halo online.
Just that. Okay, that's boring.
High priority turret eliminated. Engaging elite countermeasures. Quickly fresh magazine. It is tenacious.
Wow.
So are we.
Right at the end. Okay.
Executing.
I want to see the damage number on that, because that was a lot of Melta shots that game. Like, a staggering amount, truly. No pun intended. That was interesting. What a fun one. Is this the triple Melta meta? Melta Bomb, Melta Multi-Melta, and the Inferno Pistol. Yeah, that sounds about right. 54,000 for that mission.